Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
I got to turn that on. There we go. Because this is what's happening. I'm thinking about what we're going to talk, and I didn't turn the microphone on for the podcast side. And that's why there was a brief pause there, because I'm trying to come up with the answer. Here's the question. 3 words. What is love? We're going to try and answer that question today. It does make you think for a second. Go deep, no matter what you're doing. What's the answer? What is love? She is an amazing therapist, counselor with purposeful path.
I'm a therapist.
I corrected myself.
Life coach. Yeah, no, it's okay. And I just always have to throw that out because it's very important.
Yeah. I corrected. Purposeful Pathways, lifecoaching.com. And she's Allison Cowan. She's back. See, this has me slightly flustered because I really want to give the answer, but I'm not exactly sure what it is. And maybe there's multiple answers. Love, obviously, can we agree, is an emotion. Love is an emotion. Yes? No? Maybe? Because it's something you feel, and things you feel are emotion.
And then, we had kind of touched upon unconditional love. And is that always an emotion? Or is that a commitment? Is it a dedication?
But it's a commitment that you make and you don't even try to make it. I feel that commitments are things that you intentionally make. I think when it's unconditional love, you just do it. You're not making that choice. It's just there.
Right. And so like my thing is like an emotion, a feeling. Sometimes it shows up as an emotion or a feeling. And then I was, it just kind of crossed my mind thinking about the times I have unconditional love for my children, for example.
Right. That's what I was thinking as soon as you said that.
And then, they upset you. They do things and you feel upset. So other emotions are involved. You may feel angry, you may feel disappointed, yet underneath it all, there's that unconditional love, but in the moment, that emotion isn't what's showing up. It's the dedicating yourself to unconditional love that shows up first.
Now, the word dedicating, like you're dedicated to your children, as I am. It's unconditional. I guess there's a commitment there to that, but it's automatic. And that's where I'm going with that. When you make a commitment, oh, Friday, you want me there? What time? 7:30? All right, I'm committed. I made a choice. I don't think we make a choice to have the unconditional love. It just happens. It just happens. That's just my thought. I'm trying to process this as we talk about it.
Because it's a really interesting topic. And it's one that I think we may just be in a tailspin. And if there's anybody that would email in and share their ideas about what they believe.
For sure.
I would love to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. So instant feedback, steve@gmail.com to reach us. Now, let's start from the beginning. We have different phases of love or something that leads to. We have, you like somebody, you're in love, you love. So there's 3 different components that have a love connection, so to speak. I guess if you're in love, do you also love the person? Or do we need to define what love is before we even go there?
I think, I mean, and this is just my opinion, sometimes being in love, we're swept away by the emotions. And, are we really dedicating to love? Is this really love? Or is
Hmm.
is it infatuation?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, absolutely.
Is it attraction?
Yeah.
Is it that new shiny object of this new shiny relationship
Hmm.
that just makes us feel good? So, is that love?
Well, when you peel away the newness and time goes on, and do you still feel the in love? And some couples will say, well, I'm not in love, but I love them. Um, that's a tough one. That's a tough one to
And then,
process.
and what if it's possible to go back and forth? So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
get past that new shiny thing, and a couple partners decide, yes, we love each other, not just being, yes, we are in love, but we love each other. um Things are going to come up. What are they going to do? How are they going to continue loving each other and showing love to each other, expressing love to each other? And um what does it mean for each of the people involved?
Mm. And then let's just say that it's a relationship that involves love. Then we go into love languages because everybody shows it in a different way. And somebody may do something that, you look at, it's like, really? And it's like, yeah, that's how I show you how I love you. Maybe you don't agree with that. And that, kind of goes back to what we talked about last time in terms of relationships, making them stronger and how we all feel about that. But there's a lot that goes into the whole love thing. Really, it's making me think today, kind of deep.
Well, and I think one of the reasons that I thought this was important, or like I found it dear to my heart, was I've had a couple people who have reached out to me that I haven't heard from, and I'm not young, since high school. And we had gone to these 6 or 8 weeks, I can't remember, um, music experiences where we would stay. And so I got a phone call from this person after so many years. And it wasn't like, oh, I'm in love with this person, but there was so much love in the conversation.
Hmm.
And does love have to only be, and I'm not talking about infidelity like we've talked about before or anything like that, but we can love and we can be loved.
Mm-hmm.
And in a relationship or not, as long as it's not crossing any lines, is there, look at this beautiful love that just crossed my path.
Yeah.
Look at one of my best friends who listened to me share some music of songs that were very, very meaningful for me, and why. That's love.
Yeah. I agree.
And that's why it was like, well, what is love? And and moving it outside of the box of a relationship, of a like a committed partnership.
Sure.
Because
Okay.
there's
So what if we look at it this way? What if we know it's an emotion, but why don't we agree that it is the most powerful emotion you can feel? There's no stronger emotion than love. Trumps anything. In terms of its strength, endurance, and all of that. Yeah. Anger, I guess, is an emotion. Um, I don't know, happiness could be, but love is the biggest one. Love comes when there is either attraction or closeness. So, like you're saying, talking to that friend after many years, um, not attraction is not what we're talking about, but there's a closeness that is shared that can be love. I can have friends that I love, not attracted to them, have friends who are girls. I love them. They're great. I would do anything for them.
Yeah, yeah. And
And I say that all the time because I have more female friends than guy friends. And, people look like, I'll have a party at my house and there'll be, 80% women. It's like, and my daughter walks downstairs and she's like, Dad, you got it going on. I'm like, no, 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 no. It's not that.
so I
But
think what we're kind of saying is that love doesn't always have to be romantic love.
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. There's a friendship love you share with somebody because of your closeness. And I think that's the word, your closeness to them. Now, if we factor in attraction and closeness, then we have a different type of relationship, call it a marriage, partnership, whatever.
Right.
If you put the two of those in there, um, and I guess you need the attraction and the closeness to be in love. And that goes back to, are you can you always be in love? I guess there are couples that will say that. Yeah, we're in love. 15 years later, yeah, we're in love. Um, but I guess it also depends on how you define that. Because I guess
Right,
it's
right, right,
relative to everybody.
right. And then it's like, well, we love each other. At the moment, I really don't feel in love with you.
Mhm.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't mean I don't love you. Doesn't mean not being committed. Just right now, that in love, that gushy thing isn't happening.
Yeah,
And doesn't mean I don't love you.
right.
So, it's like, is it just moves.
Yeah, I agree. There's an ebb and flow. There's a balance between the two in a longer relationship. Yeah, certainly a shorter one. You're going to have that attraction, that lust thing going on in the beginning. Then that's going to lead to in love and then love.
I had a visual that that only I can these things come up with you, Steve. But I was like, love is a lava lamp.
All right, I'm getting it. I'm getting it because it's always moving.
Yeah, love
It's
is a
always moving. Right, right. Yeah. And there are degrees of love in relationships. You might
right,
feel more once than you might not. I think with the closer relationships, i.e., marriage, partnerships,
right. That's where the lava lamp. That's where
that's
the
the
lava
lava
lamp.
lamp. Because
Yeah.
when it comes to friendships, I have we call her Crazy Dawn. She's our friend. And, do I love her? Yeah, to a degree. She calls me up. She needs something. Yeah, she needed to borrow like $200. She lost her pocketbook and her ATM card a
Mhm.
couple of weeks ago. I was like, all right, here, no problem. And I knew, week later, I got everything together. Here you go, get back. I would do anything for her, and it's just we call her Crazy Dawn. She's crazy. She knows it. She admits it. Um, and that's but that's I have
But
to say,
that's love. If you think about it, when somebody can call you a name like that with so much love and affection, that how much loving can it get?
well, we're in a group text. We text each other all a bunch of a few. And she put it out there, and nobody responded right away. And I was like, Yeah. No, no, I, I know I'm going to get it back, the money. But I feel that when it's a friendship, it's not a lava lamp. The level of love
It's a
is,
great-
it's almost a lock. It's there. It's a love lock. It doesn't change. It doesn't change. It's always going to be there. I have a friend who is a therapist. I've known her since I was 17, and she is always there when I'm dealing with something, whatever it might be. She's always there. It's almost like I have, on speed dial. We don't talk. We haven't talked in, last time I talked to her was September. She came to my birthday, surprise party, whatever. We just text. Love her. Always love her the same way. It doesn't even change. But when I believe it's a closer relationship, then it's definitely the lava lamp, like no
Yeah,
doubt.
yeah, and that I'm really excited because I now want to put something out about that, that when you're in a relationship, a commitment, a partnership,
Hmm.
and love is a lava lamp.
Love is a lava lamp. Yeah, it is. It is.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing. It's almost, and then it's like, oh gosh, this could be a song.
Yeah.
Because we always go to music, but I don't know how well it would sell.
Your love
So,
is a lava lamp.
love is a battlefield.
Love is a
Love is
lava
a
lamp.
lava lamp. I don't think it's gonna fly.
And there's so many songs. Like as we're talking, I'm thinking there's a song came out, I think 1994, Hadaway, and it's What Is Love? What is love? And it's a guy, baby, don't hurt. I can't sing, baby, don't hurt me. And that's what he's saying. He's not talking about love in general. He's saying he's questioning it because he's getting hurt. He wants to be in this relationship and he's asking not to be hurt. But then you also have, Bob Marley, who is the quintessential singer of love. And could this be love? Um, is this love? Is this love? Is this love that I'm feeling?
Oh my gosh, Bob Marley's like, it's really funny that you mentioned that because all weekend, my husband and I were listening to Bob Marley.
Doesn't get old, man. It doesn't
Never,
get
never,
doesn't doesn't get old. It's and it's amazing how it just stands the test of time. And then there's songs that I'll hear from him like, I never heard that song before. Wow, that could have been recorded in the last 15 years, let alone, 30, 40. Um, but and talk about one love. One love. What a
and
song uniting people, uniting a country.
yes,
Amazing.
one
Amazing.
heart. Let's get together
And
and be
exactly.
all right.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
Get the children singing. Yeah, and that I'm so glad that we chose this topic
Yeah.
because it's really expanding a lot more than I even imagined when we were both like, is this what are we gonna
Yeah.
do?
It's like, how is this gonna go? What are we gonna, but
Now
once
we've
you
got,
start,
then we've got Bob Marley, One Love, Is This Love? And there's so many more. And it just, then it becomes expansive. It's not just that close relationship, lava lamp love. It's love for people, love for
yeah,
country, love for
yeah,
world, love for peace, love for you know, and what is love?
yeah. Yeah. I
And
just looked up the lyrics of Could You Be Loved? And it's like, could you be loved, then be loved? You know, can you be loved? That's another question. Um, yeah, there's lots of questions we brought up here today. I think we're answering some of them. I
and
don't,
then even the words, and I can't really, no woman, no cry.
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Love.
Yeah. He's no words for this guy.
No, I know. And
So when we talk about the unconditional love, let's go back to that because that's a strong one. Unconditional with your children, a no brainer. It's no matter what, it's unconditional. No matter what happens, most parents would say, I'm there for you. I'm there for you. Um, in a
But
marriage, I'm sorry,
I'm
go
sorry.
ahead.
As we just talked about Bob Marley, is love a choice?
Hmm.
Especially when we started talking about love of country, love of pulling people together. Is that, you know, is I think at that point, love becomes a choice.
Is it in general?
One.
Is it, could you choose not to love somebody? Because what if you have those situations where, hear me out, you're in a relationship, something happens, doesn't go well, you get hurt. You still love that person. They may not love you. And you might say to yourself, I don't freaking want to love them. How dare them? Look what they did. But you still do.
Mhm.
So is it a choice? You can't shut it off. Rut-row. You've got down another road here.
This is interesting because I just spoke with my ex-husband yesterday. We've been divorced a while. Are we, and this is where, are we in love? No. Do I still love him and his family? Yes. Of course, we have children. So there's a shared love. He's remarried. I actually love his wife. And it's a choice. I could choose to resent, but where is that going to lead our kids? Where's that going to lead all of us? And so, is there still love? Yes. It's just different.
I totally agree and totally get that. I I have an ex, a few, and um, my first ex, I'd have to say this: I haven't spoken to her in years. You know,
And sometimes
that's
that's,
okay. That's
that's
okay
maybe the healthiest thing for both of you.
for sure, for sure. And in the situation you just brought up, yes, in that it just makes things better and wonderful that it can be that way. But is that a choice? I guess that is a choice. You could
I could
choose.
have, yeah, I could have chosen to
Yes.
have resentment and anger and held on to it.
And it wouldn't support you and it wouldn't support everybody else. So I feel that's the right choice. In the situation where your things have been done to you and you don't want to love that person, but you do. Or maybe, in your mind, you take the shovel and you just bury it, put dirt on top of it, put it down there, but it's still there. I don't think it's a choice. I don't think it can always be a choice.
Okay, so something's over, it lingers on. There's still a feeling of love, even though it's over and done. There have been some boundaries set. We don't speak to each other. And yet my gut is telling me that that type of love is forgiveness.
How do you mean? I think I know, but I want to know.
So, say, for example, something ends, you don't speak to each other. There's still, you know, a place in your heart that loves, whether you want to or not.
Right.
And sometimes you may think, oh, I wish this would go away because I'm upset or I'm angry, but there's still love. By offering forgiveness, you're offering yourself love.
Agreed. Yeah.
Because otherwise, you will continue to live in bitterness and anger. And where is that ultimately going to get you?
Agreed. And one of the best things you ever can do in those situations is to forgive for yourself, not the other person. I think we've talked about that in the past. However, what you're saying is even more clear, that if you're in that situation and you still have that love for somebody, even though they did something horrible, if you forgive, it sets the love free. It's almost like it's you put it in a box and now it's like, let it go. All right. And it may
And
still be there, but it's in a different form. It's almost you pop the love balloon once you forgive. You're like, all right, we're good now.
I
Yeah.
like that's okay, I'm not gonna go.
Lo-
I could easily go somewhere like that. I'm not gonna do it.
we're like the king and queen of analogies today. We got lava lamps, love balloons, and
Popping, but no, not just love balloons, popping the love balloon.
yeah, pop the love balloon. Um,
That's
but
a
but
that's
interesting.
like a different type of podcast.
What was that song? 99 love balloons? No,
Yeah, 99 Luft balloons.
Luft balloons or red balloons, depending on what
Yeah,
language you're
depending
hearing it
on
in.
which one you listen to.
Right. We're out of time, but I think we answered the question in many regards, and I didn't think we would be able to answer the question. And I'm going to throw it up. I'm in a couple of Facebook groups. I'm actually going to put that out there. I'm going to
Yeah.
talk about what we did today, and I want to hear what people have to say. I really do in that
Keep
regard.
me posted with that because I'm curious too. Because
Yeah.
I was like, this is opening up something. Where are we gonna go? And
Yeah.
but as always, Steve, we can make I'm trying to think of the metaphors where you know making something out of
Well,
nothing.
how about making love out of nothing at all? Air Supply,
All
1981.
right. All right. I
There you
love
go. You feed it, I'll get back to you. Well, it's kind of like we got in the car and we didn't know where we were going, and we arrived at a destination. We stopped at that great little restaurant by the ocean, and there it went. So we didn't know we were going there, and that's kind of how it went today. You help people
And
find.
people need to know that we sometimes go into role play accident, like automatically. And just so that people know, Steve and I are not in a relationship.
It just like we read each other's minds. It's weird.
And yeah, and then we start role playing. Well, we're getting in a car and we're doing this, and all of a sudden, like we're kind of like in this visualization place. And I just thought that would be a good idea to clarify that so
Yeah,
that people know that we just fall into it naturally.
yeah. It's just
Um,
it just happens that way. And before we started, I didn't know where we were going to go with this. I didn't even know this is going to be 25 minutes of dead air. I don't know how we're going to answer this question, but I think we nailed a number of different things. We got to go out of time,
I don't
but
know.
website is
Everybody.
purposefulpathwayslifecoaching.com, and you're available. People have questions dealing with love situations, whatever it may be. You help them figure it out, like we kind of figured it out today. It's great talking with you as always, Allison.
As always.
Yep.
And thank you, Steve, and goodbye, everybody.
Yep. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.